Okay, good evening. I'd like to call order to June 18th, 2024 regular council meeting. Please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the pledge of duty.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening and ask that you watch over our community, bless this council and the people that live in our community. We'd like to pray and just ask that you watch over our first responders and those who serve this great nation here and overseas. We pray that you come into the hearts of those of this community and just encourage us all to do better for one another, share kind and compassion, and just continue to aim for the future and do the best that we can with each day that you have given us. We pray for these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next is the roll call. Council members present for work.
Councilmember Back,
Present.
Councilmember Joy, Councilmember Locke, Councilmember Perkins, here, Councilmember Sexton,
Present.
Vice Mayor Atkins,
Present.
Mayor Nickerson.
Present. Next, the approval of the regular meeting minutes from June 4th, 2024. Are there any corrections or changes to these minutes? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve May 7th, 2024 meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second.
June 4th, I'm sorry.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
5-0.
Next on the agenda is unfinished business. Does anyone have any unfinished business?
I just have a question about the pickleball court. I don't know if it's unfinished or business, but do you know if that is going to be repaved? Or are they just painting lines? Do we know what?
Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're
Yes, the plan calls for there to be a milling of the existing surface and a repavement and then paint. So it will be a new, let's say, 1-inch surface on top.
Okay, we may need to get with the school then, because they have somebody coming out next week.
The paint.
They've been, just to get an estimate and look at it.
Okay.
I let them know that had been in the plan and,
If you'll give me your contact, I'll call them
okay,
this week.
okay.
New business? Okay, I do have some new business I'd like to present. I have a note that I need to read, and we'll move forward from there, okay? And that is pertains to the community as well. Ladies and gentlemen of the village council and the members of the public, I stand before you today to address an important and unfortunate matter concerning our village council. It has come to our attention that Council Member Locke has failed to meet a critical requirement outlined in our village charter, a timely payment of taxes. As you know, the charter section 2.01 was amended and approved in November 2023 to read as follows. All legislative power shall be vested in a mayor and 6 council members. For the purposes of this charter, all references to council shall refer to the mayor and 6 council members. The mayor and all council members shall be elected to a 4-year term. The mayor shall be elected in November 1995. 3 council members shall be elected in November 1993. 3 council members shall be elected in November 1995. The council member shall be a qualified elector of the municipality and shall have been, prior to the date of filing a declaration of candidacy, a continuous resident of the municipality or any territory annexed thereto for 1 year, and any qualifying electorate may be in good standing on all New Lebanon municipal income taxes prior to filing a declaration of candidacy. During the term of office, they shall continue to be a resident, a qualified elector, and must remain in good standing on all municipal income taxes throughout their elected term. No council member shall be an employee of the municipality. If any council member shall cease to possess any of the qualifications for such office, they shall forthwith forfeit their office. I have read this provision as a whole to ensure clarity. Notwithstanding, the pertinent selection states, if any council member shall cease to possess any of the qualifications for such office, they shall forthwith forfeit their office. This charter provision is self-executing. In other words, this charter mandates that failure to comply with this requirement results in an automatic forfeiture of the council position. Additionally, the charter does not provide a savings clause or any opportunity to remedy this failure. Given these stipulations, it is with great regret that I must inform you that Council Member Locke has forfeited her position on the village council. I have asked the law director to draft a resolution to implement Mrs. Locke's forfeiture, and I'm going to pass it out to each council member to read before I entertain a motion to add this resolution to the agenda. Now, I do have copies for citizens if you'd like to read it. And we'll put them down here by the police, where the police and fire chiefs sit. And we'll give you some time to look through that and read that as well. Okay. I would like to make a motion to add the following resolution to the agenda under the new business. Resolution 2024-13, a resolution recognizing the self-executing forfeiture of Councilmember Lott's position on village council and setting forth the procedure to fill said vacancy. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Does council have any comments or questions regarding the addition to this resolution to the agenda?
I do.
Go ahead, Mr. Burke.
Was anybody else looked at besides just her? Was I looked at?
I can answer that question.
Huh?
I can answer that
Thank
question.
you.
Every council member was examined.
Every council member was examined.
That's correct.
Who chose to do this? You or the mayor? Somebody had to choose to do this.
I asked for investigation.
It was a resolution that was passed November, wait a minute. It was a resolution that was passed in 2023 that the previous council leadership voted on and approved, okay? We're going by the resolutions and we're going by what the rules of the charter, section 2.01 identifies. And that's what we went by. It's a review. It was reviewed and we found that one council member was in arrears under income taxes, which follows the guidelines of the charter, which allows us to do this. And that's what we're doing.
My question is, was it you or was that gentleman next to you to do it? Somebody had to come up with the idea to do it. No ifs, ands, or buts. You either say yes or no. So I'll take that as a yes.
So
It's either the attorney or you, one of the two. I don't think anybody else would do that. And for me finding out that you investigated me for my taxes. Well,
May I ask for a resolution?
You're next. As soon as we're done,
that's
we're gonna give the comments to the public.
that's wrong. That's wrong. You know,
Sir, the charter is mandatory. It's not optional. It must be done. So you can have your opinion all you want. Who initiated it is not relevant. Is there an arrearage of taxes? There is, position is forfeited. Now we move on to business.
he'll come out sooner or later. It was either you or him. One of the two, one of you did it. No ifs, ands, or buts. And we're good. If I had investigated me, I was going to use a bad word, but I won't. You dug up my nerves all shot.
Okay, we pause. Are you finished? Do you have any other comments? So we can move forward.
Was she advised of this? Did you tell her you were going to investigate her? I doubt it. I didn't know that you investigated me. And I didn't know, but months ago, before I got sick, that Shannon said that everybody should be investigated. But was everybody investigated by you? Attorney? I doubt it.
Running a simple inquiry of the income tax status of each council member and the mayor.
This is the first time it's ever been done. First time I ever heard of it, it's ever been done. First time.
The charter was just amended in November 2023. It's the first opportunity for it to have been. You can disagree with it, sir. You can either vote for it or vote against it. If you vote against it, you're voting not to follow the charter. So I'm not going to debate this with you anymore. Mayor, I think other council members have comments.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, this was passed in November. This is what people voted on. And it was put to a vote by the community. And I believe it was brought forth, if I'm correct, by the council, and you were part of the council that put this in place. And this is the first time for us to sit down and actually review this. And I mean, part of that is that we were all caught up on our taxes.
Councilman Becker, just a slight correction.
Okay, this was actually the charter review that there was 12 people from the community. There was a couple people that was out here that was on the charter review. But, and we only had, at that time, there was one council member. He's actually in the audience too. But it was a charter review. It wasn't us as a council that made this decision.
Okay.
We had no vote, no say. It was put on for the voting when we went to voting on the ballot, and we actually voted the community as a whole. So when everybody voted to approve this, so this was not even something that we could have done. Council has no say on this. This was not even from us. This was the 12 people that was in that charter review, came up with what they wanted, and they put it on the ballot and let the community vote on it, and they actually, as the community, approved it. And yes, we've never done this, and I understand we did not ever do this because it wasn't on our charter. This just all got added in. This is one thing that I wasn't ever wanting, I was hoping when everybody voted that they didn't vote on. You know, because there's different voices and some people has hard times, and this is very how can you put it, unfavorable for somebody that is trying to help the community to be able to, yes, she might be having hard times, we don't know what her situation is. My heart goes out to somebody that is having a hard time on stuff, but it's still in our charter. So now it's in our charter, we have to go by, that's why we always investigating. It wasn't like they was trying to point fingers at somebody to say, hey, are you calling it, are you, it's in the charter. So if none of us was, say we auditing was a con, we all would have been in the same boat, we all would be having to be doing it. So it's not just one person, it's not somebody going after. I do feel sorry for Tammy at this time too, because I know that she's probably having a hard time financial, that's why it's not paid. And everybody does have hard times.
Yes, absolutely.
Any more comments from council? Does anyone from the public have any comments or questions regarding the addition to this resolution to the agenda? Janet Hughes, you're the first one to stand.
Okay, so I was on the charter review committee and I was against this originally, because the way it was presented to us, the municipal manager at the time presented us with changes that she wanted, and we basically voted yes or no to accept those changes. I thought going into it that a charter review committee was going to be where we as citizens discuss it and kind of make changes ourselves. And so I didn't like how the charter committee was set up to begin with. With that being said, this has never been in our charter regarding, having a tax requirement to be on council or run for council. Now, there was somebody that was running for council that was delinquent on their taxes, and this, in my opinion, was put in there, and I stated this at the meeting, was put in there to get that person to not be able to run. So I said, that's fine. Then I want every council member currently serving or in the future to have the same requirement then. Knowing that there were council members that were delinquent. It's no secret, Mr. Perkins, I have asked Mr. McNamee to investigate Mr. Joy, you, and Mrs. Locke. I don't know why you have such anger towards the mayor or Mr. McNamee when you and I have been coming up with it for years. And it's been the same old, same old. We finally have people with the intellect and the knowledge and the experience and the want to do the right thing. And you're fighting it. And I don't understand that. And that's why I've said at a few meetings, I asked for the investigation. Whichever way he went with it, blame me, be mad at me, but don't be mad at these people that are sitting up here trying to fix this town. That's not fair. That's not fair to them. I'll take the blame. Be mad at me. I asked for it. Now, if it was only one person that was investigated, I'd probably have more of an issue with that. But if it's universal across the board, that's how it should be. If there are requirements for you guys to sit up there, and like I said, I was against this. This was on the ballot in November. The community voted to put this on, to agree with this. It went into effect January 1st. So as our law director, he has to make sure that his city council members meet the qualifications. If one of them didn't, hey, guess what? Your previous municipal manager is the one that pushed for this. I didn't. You can be delinquent on your taxes and run for president. So I don't understand why, and that's the issue that I have with Mr. Joy and you, Mr. Perkins and Mrs. Locke, is that we have fresh blood in here with integrity and are trying to do the right thing. And then why are we sitting here getting mad at them for following the charter when you should be mad at the person for violating the charter? That's who you should be angry with. Be mad at your fellow council member for violating it, not them. I don't understand that. So that's, if you want to blame anybody, blame me.
Sure, you have a comment? Can't anyone hold on for a minute? Well, be fair. Go ahead, Mr. Perkins. Yes, sir.
Why did you just choose me, Tammy, Mr. Joy? Why not everybody on the council? Why not everybody?
I've explained it to you before.
Huh?
I've explained it to you, I've explained it to everybody multiple times. The thing is that you and I both have been coming up here for a very long time, right? When there was nobody here, correct? And we would get the same answer. How many years did you ask for a quote to pay Don Russ Park? For years, and you were blown off, and you were mocked, and you were made fun of. And they finally just made up a number just to shut you up. They did the same thing to me. You finally have people that are up here asking questions, holding Mr. Anderson accountable, a law director that actually knows municipal law and is trying to do right by this town. But everybody sat up here for years just saying yes or no, or yes or no. I have nothing. I have no questions. Never doing public records requests. I'm giving them information. Hey, did you know, Mr. Perkins, that we were spending all these thousands of dollars? No, because nobody cared. Now because they care, now it's like you guys wanna have an opinion and be against them. You guys are so against the new people. The numbers have changed. There are new people that are in charge, and these people wanna make sure we're doing the things right, because we weren't. I don't care, I know there's an investigation, I'll tell you right now, things weren't. Things were bad. Money was stolen. Now, did somebody go into a till and take $10? No, but just the education incentive alone, that is fact. You cannot get paid for something that you have not earned or are privy to. That is theft. Are you okay with that?
You're not getting paid, but you've been working with that office.
For free. For an entire month of my summer, I've been up here sweating my butt off, cleaning this pigsty up. The stuff, I don't know how anybody did a job in this building. It's disgusting, unorganized. It's a complete mess. Nobody can do a job in the condition that it was left. It's disgusting.
By you,
I apologize, we're kind of getting off topic a little bit. Let's finish up on this resolution. And thank you, Mr. Peters. Anybody else in the public has anything to say? Come on up to the podium, sir, please, Mr. Robert.
You read in the section of the charter that it says they have to remain in good standing, is that not what you said?
That's what the charter states.
So is Ms. Locke delinquent and not paying her taxes, or is she currently engaged in a payment plan?
I don't know.
Because if she's in a payment plan, that would be still in good standing, that would be paying your taxes and in good standing.
Mr. Roberts, you're incorrect on that.
No, I'm not.
Let me interrupt, please, sir. I allowed you to come up, let him answer.
You're incorrect, whether you're in the payment plan, it was not a village sanctioned payment. Plan. She pays when she wants. She's in arrears, charter is clear. You can have your opinion, it's wrong.
Okay, we'll see.
Anybody else from the public, please? Go ahead, sir. Come on.
I don't know if you name my name and address, Charles Cooper, 443 Hazelwood.
Thank you,
And first of all, I want to thank you all for the job you do. I appreciate it. And I just had one question. I was reading about the replacement of that seat. If I'm understanding it correctly, since there's not a general election scheduled within 90 days, would it be an appointed position to fulfill that seat? Is that what that?
I can address that.
Okay.
The The position will initially be appointed.
Okay.
And then for anybody that wants to run for the unexpired term, then they can circulate petitions. They have to comply with the general election law. To get
Okay.
enough signatures to get their name on the ballot.
And they would go on the ballot at the next scheduled general election.
That is correct, and that's this November 2020.
Okay,
Is the next general election.
okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, sir, thank you. Anybody else? Is that it? Okay. Can I have a roll call vote to add this resolution to the agenda?
Councilmember Sexton,
Yes.
Councilmember Perkins,
No.
Councilmember Back,
Yes.
Mayor Nickerson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Atkins,
Yes.
4-1, motion passes.
Resolution 2024-13, a resolution recognizing the self-executing forfeiture of council member Luck's position on village council and setting forth the procedure to fill said vacancy. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2024-13?
So moved. Yeah.
Mayor Nickerson,
Yes.
Councilmember Back,
Yes.
Councilmember Perkins. No. Vice Mayor Atkins,
Yes.
Councilmember Sexton,
Yes.
4-1, motion passes.
Okay, next is public comments or questions. I will call your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak and be heard. Once your time is up, you will be thanked, but no additional time will be given and no donation of time by others to be allowed. We will not be stopping your time, but may, if necessary, address your comments after you have finished speaking. First person this evening is Mr. Mark Bundy, 124 Laredo.
Yeah, Mark Bunny from 114 Laredo Avenue. The first thing I want to say, and I'm not going to be up here long, is I'm not against fireworks if they're done right. But in this town, I've been here 26 years, and there have been times when I had to climb up on my roof and go walk my yard and fill 2 Brush Lane grocery bags with trash and debris from fireworks. I have the plug from 2 mortars from this past 4th of July, that's 1.5 inches in diameter, that was set off in front of my house. I spent over $2,000 on a bird dog 2 years ago, pedigree and all. And last 4th of July on that night, they were setting off such big fireworks, they probably ruined my dog. I've got a lot of money out of that thing. He's a great pet and I'll accept him for that. But as far as ever hunting, I probably won't ever be able to use him because people go out of the yard and take walks anymore or nothing. They just ruin him. So I'm not against them if they're done right. And I wish we could have them here in the village again like we used to. If our grandkids come to watch the fireworks shows and things. What I have here is a copy of the ordinance that was passed here in New Lebanon, presented by Mr. Sands. And I've highlighted the points that I would like to emphasize on. And I also have the Ohio Revised Fire Code, and I've highlighted the points that are there also. And then the Ohio Revised Code on fireworks, okay? And I'd like to present these to the law director for him to go through and see if he comes to the same determination that I and other people have. So may I approach the bench?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Gold paper clip. Any questions?
I do. In terms of the firework debris that's in your yard, how did that arrive in your yard? You're talking about people casually setting off fireworks, or is this village sponsored fireworks?
No, it's private individuals, and what they've done is they've made up their own, the police department made up their own rule. And this was when Officer Wackerman was on duty, an officer. And he told them that they could set the fireworks off at 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning. And they just set them off in a constant barrage, and it was unbelievable. So like I said, I had to pick up all that debris. It was all just what people set off in our neighborhood around my house.
And had you filed a report with the police at the
It
time?
didn't do any good back then.
Okay, but did you at least call the police or not?
I think I did call the police. I don't totally recall, but I was told that Officer Wackerman said they could set them off till 12:30, 1 a.m. in the morning. So there may be a record of
And
it.
this is, say this has happened in the past so many years.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it used to be, but last year they just got carried away with the big mortars and things. My dog didn't mind the regular fireworks. And he wanted out, I let him out in the backyard, he was fine, until another neighbor started setting off the barrage with big mortars. He ripped the screen and the screen guard out of my back door trying to get back in the house. And when I got him in, he was shaking like a leaf, and I stepped out the front door and told him to stop. Now, there's a provision in there, if one person objects to fireworks, you have to stop setting them off, you'll find that out if you don't already know.
Okay, well, I'll go through the materials you presented, and I'll make a recommendation to
All
council.
right, thank you.
Mr. Bundy, real quick, change the subject quick, a day at the park, August 10th at Falls Park. We're working on getting a fireworks display set up for the kids over at the park this year. So, I don't know if that changes the thought of anything, but that's what we're working for.
I have something as well. In the charter, it states that you can only allow fireworks to go off on certain days and certain times. So,
That's all in there.
yes,
Yeah, except the New Year's Eve, or like the New Year's Eve celebration, they're allowed to set them off between 12 AM and 1 AM. That's understandable. You know, so that's just part of it, that's the way it is, that's state law. Okay. The other one I'd like to bring up briefly is that, there was a run-in with Officer Wortman last year, and I was falsely charged. But, it got thrown out of court, this cost me $1,200 out of my pocket. I'm on, limited income because I'm retired, my wife and I are both retired. He falsely accused me of something, and I have all the records if anybody needs that. They're available. So I would like to have him investigated. I have a report on him, why he was dismissed from Miami County Sheriff's Department. I have all that information. Two people I know of have applied to Perry Township for the record, or his records, and been denied the records. So you, sir, could you possibly get a subpoena for the record?
What and where do the records reside?
In Perry Township, Officer Wharton, and why he was dismissed or fired from Perry Township.
I'll
Is
make
it
that.
Perry or was it Miami?
Pardon?
Is it Perry Township or was it Miami?
He was a Miami County Sheriff, he was dismissed from there for misconduct. He was dismissed from Perry Township for misconduct.
Okay,
I wanna know too, why he was hired. You know, he got a bad record, and he Mr. What's his name, Josh Farley? He arrested Josh Farley and had trumped up the charges on him, or he had to get an attorney. Things like that. We need a law officer, not bullies in this town. You know, we need, they want our respect. Well, he don't have my respect. And I won't do it until we find out what's going on, you know, replace him or whatever. So any other questions?
No, sir, thank you. Go, I'm sorry,
I
go.
would like to follow up, because I spoke with Mr. Bundy speaking on fireworks. I know that when we spoke, you said that they were lighting them off in the middle of the road, correct? Yeah, they were supposedly, from what I talked with him about, they were lighting like mortars and stuff off in the road. And I know that with the update to the Ohio law with fireworks, that you're not supposed to be lighting them fed roadways by any means. So that, I just figured that I would bring that forth as well.
The law is pretty clear on that. It seems more of a matter of enforcement at this
Yes.
point, but
Yes.
I'll review all the materials and make a recommendation.
One neighbor had people that came and got out of their car, took lawn chairs and blankets and went and sat in their front yard while they set their fireworks off. You'll find out in there that spectators are supposed to be 150 feet away from fireworks. So these violations were gross, and, of course, I'm saddened because they probably wouldn't go, but you'll be all right. Thank you.
Go ahead, sir, thank you very much. Shannon Beams, 130 Broadway.
Just, wanted to say, Day at Park fireworks, yes, Melissa is pulling in some ad donations and working really hard. For Day at Park, I'm glad you brought that up, so sounds like we're gonna hopefully have those. And then Mr. Bundy is right, like, it's been kind of an unwritten rule before they actually came and signed up for fireworks. The police were like, look, as long as you know, are responsible and kind of stay in control and it's not past midnight. The whole state's doing it. I mean, I don't think there's any police department that was enforcing it, you know, for the 4th of July. So, Now, the only thing that I do know is hard, because I am a firework blower offer, is that according to the law, like the debris has to, you're supposed to ignite it on private property, and the debris is supposed to fall back onto your private property, which if anybody knows fireworks, impossible. So, I mean, I could see that being an issue, but it's a little hard to avoid. And then my only other thing, I'll just make this short, is that Mr. Perkins, this is exactly why I asked for you to be investigated. Because here we just explained a violation to the charter and you voted no against it. So again, why did you vote no? May I ask why you voted no?
That's my counsel.
Okay, that's fine. And that's,
That's the same way if somebody votes yes, that's what they wanna vote.
right,
That's
well,
what
I
they
mean, I expect a little bit more, I mean, you are an elected council member. So, I mean, I do expect a little bit more transparency from our elected paid council members. But again, back to why did I ask for you to be investigated or anybody else? Exactly for this reason, here you have a violation of our charter, which is basically saying breaking the law, right? And you just said you're okay with that person breaking the law. You just voted that it's okay for them to break the law. That's how you voted, so that's my issue.
I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Peters. Anybody else, we don't have anybody else on public comments, anybody want to make a comment real quick, or no?
I have a question.
Go ahead, sir, come on up, identify yourself for me. The only reason why we're allowed is because we don't have no administrative staff here tonight.
You're Timothy Williams, 194 Blue area.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a fireworks company already talking to?
Yes,
You do, okay.
nothing's set in stone now.
Then I will give you contact for somebody I talked to 2 weeks ago who he runs the whole thing. And said on about $10,000 it'll look like Xenia's or Dayton's, so.
Wow, okay, I
I'll
appreciate that, thank
get you
you,
their number.
sure.
Thank you, sir, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll skip down to municipal managers' comments. Anyone on council have anything for the municipal managers?
I do. Where is, Mr. Joy and Ms. Locke? Have they been excused from the meeting or?
So I do know, so Mrs. Locke sent me a message around 6 o'clock saying she had somebody come up and wasn't going to make it. I don't hear anything from Mr. Joy.
Okay, so she's okay, she's not, or they are not
I can
ill or whatnot.
say that Mrs. Locke is okay, I'm not sure about Mr.
Okay, back to the. I feel like a broken record, back to the pickleball. What is it? How are we gonna get that started, or when? What's the process with that?
Yeah, so the next thing is engaging an engineer to do the specifications for it, which I've started. They'll do just a very basic specification and we'll have to bid the project because it's going to be over $100,000, so we can get competitive bids. Once we open those bids, we award a contract, we can get started ASAP.
Okay,
So the next thing you will have to do is you'll have to award a contract for that construction, which once we do that, I'll bring that forward.
okay, so, speaking with the athletic director, we may be able to reach out to the school. And since the tennis court is getting redone, because they would like to see kids. I heard some disturbing things, from the school. And, they have scheduled a lot of their tennis matches at other places because people do not want to come here.
Sure.
And, that is kind of embarrassing, really. You were,
So if you give
you
me
were there that day as well.
I'll be glad to reach out, talk to him.
So, I don't know, so, am I, are you done? Can I
No,
comment?
not, you can comment on that.
Yeah, I've been up there, so I'm off the track. A few disturbing things. the tennis court, I mean, it's really in shambles. Like Sexton said, they want to do 6, that way they can have like straight matches just there and done. And basically, you know, it's pretty embarrassing for our school kids to have people come there due to like tripping hazards on the court, and you know, I think that's something that we should definitely look at. And then a few other things that I noticed when going around the track was, I don't know who was doing, but they were getting, do you want to speak on, do you want me to say?
No, that's what I wasn't done.
Okay, but I'll send it back to her, I'll comment after she shares it.
So I didn't print all of these. However, as you can see, there is not a straight post or pole in that park. Now we have 2 birdhouses that are not completely down. You can see where the deck of the lawnmower has, where they are getting so close, they don't want to get off and weed eat or whatever the case may be.
Oh, man.
You literally look down the line and everything is just, it's just not good. And with one walk side, it needs to be cut back. It is full of poison ivy, it's overgrown. You have I don't know what laying in the middle of the field now. Yeah, it's been there for weeks. Also, I thought that was supposed to be natural, like a natural habitat area. I believe we've talked about this in other meetings. I don't think that it's supposed to be mowed to 1-inch grass. You have 2, I have tons of pictures on my phone, but you have 2 mounds of dirt back there that can be utilized. The markers to the frisbee golf, we spent money for that, and they're literally have been hit with a lawnmower, and you can't even use the one on the one side. It's literally knocked over. There's another marker that's completely out of the ground. That stuff needs to be repainted. It just needs to be fixed. And I think that is it. Oh, the records that are at Correct Plumbing. There is a storage by the maybe water plant. I don't know if it's a storage unit or whatnot, but we could save some money if we get the records out of Correct Plumbing and figure out where we can put them at. I think there are a couple locations that we can maybe look at that would be secure. And I think that's all I have.
Okay, I'll take a look.
So following, if I might, yeah, I mean, yeah, when I walked in, it was bad. I highly encourage anybody that, from council or community that hasn't been walking around, they're getting way too close to the voters. I mean, hitting the stuff. This is, I believe, it's to full batch, like clumps of batch. I mean, that's village property that we're just leaving out there that somebody could grab, take, hook up, whatever you want to call it. And then as for mowing and reserved or sanctuary land, yeah, that's not good. That can get us in trouble, so
It's supposed to be maintained, not.
mow to the dirt.
Can I have this?
Yes, absolutely.
Uh,
I also noticed that on the runway where the drainage is, that it looks like they might have taken one of the big tractors down and almost gotten it stuck. I would be putting, just my personal thing, I would not be putting a big tractor on the hillside like that where it's sliding. You could easily do it with mowers or even string trim the little area. There's drainage when you go back to the park where the bridge is, and it's causing, I don't know who installed it or when it was all installed, but the water is literally flushing back and washing washing out it's eroding the dirt and everything. So I don't think we're getting proper drainage, which could then cause sinkholes and other things to happen. So, but yeah, I was very disturbing, so.
Anything else for the municipal manager or Mr. Manager, Mr. Perkins?
Who sets the detail for what the grass crew is supposed to do each day?
So that would be Chris Eds.
Who?
Chris, the superintendent.
Superintendent?
That's right.
Okay. Now, it's the records. I thought I remember right, that the gentleman attorney said they confiscated all the records and took them where they were, be secure. Am I right or wrong?
So I think the state auditor did take some records. These are records that are not pertaining to the investigation. They're former like tax records, things like that that we just need to keep, we're required to keep by law. That we need to find a place for. So these wouldn't be records that would need to be taken for any part of the
I
investigation.
thought the gentleman over there said that they found records that were not on site and they were gonna take those, right or wrong.
So
Wrong.
You didn't take them.
It didn't say I was going to take. He said that's one of the things that the village manager did was improperly remove records from municipal property onto the private property.
See your invoice on how much money, investigation group, you know, you paid an invoice, they give you an invoice on how much money they paid him.
yes,
How much?
I don't recall off the top of my head. I do not recall off the top of my head. I don't want to guess,
50,000,
but I could get that to you.
100,000?
So I don't want to guess. I'd have to look at it.
How long was that for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months?
I believe we received 2 months. Of invoices.
Can I get that information by tomorrow?
Uh,
Tomorrow's holiday.
Tomorrow's the holiday. Certainly by Thursday or Friday.
I'll call. Very Michigan. Still investigating. Invoices, despite on a total of a whole lot of money. I mean, a whole lot of money, because he in a hurry because this money is fine.
How much money stolen from us?
I'll get that information.
Did it?
And just
I'm not. I do, I there's a farmland behind my house. Someone had sent me a message and they have sprayed. I don't know what they use, I don't know what it is. I told them I would bring it to your attention. But they're saying that it is so strong, they smell it in their house. So I'm not sure. What it is, again, but I also want to say something to Mr. Perkins, because you haven't been here for a while, but there are other council members that were here that I guess we now don't have to answer people. So when you're asking questions, we don't have to answer you anymore. Because they're not made to either. And you sit up here and you question about what he's investigated, but you say nothing about the money that has been found that were paid to people. How come you have not asked that question? It is frustrating. You don't even care. You just worry
I don't
about,
know if I care.
you just worry about now.
Where's my mouth?
Not in your argument up here.
Sure.
Oh, all right, you're out of order. You are out of order. Okay, okay, please, you're out of order, sir. That's up to you, sir. If you want to leave without the council the meeting terminating, that's up to you. Very good. Do you have anything else?
That's it.
Okay,
I've got things.
go ahead.
I have a couple of things.
You'll wait. Let's make it.
Okay.
I can stick him.
Go ahead, that's it.
It's the him. Okay, there's one thing is the water, treatment. The hotter it gets, the worse the smell is. And the families that's over there is having to deal with it. And I went over there before when it was so bad and so hot and it smells so horrific. Is there anything that we could do to try to look at that? To see what we could,
Wait, excuse me, Mr. Perkins, wait a minute. We're not gonna have an outline discussion about nothing. You're out of order for a second time, sir. Please, Shannon, go ahead and stop. We're not gonna have outside discussions. If you can't do it up here in a resemblance of order, then don't do it at all. I apologize.
it's okay.
Please continue.
I will talk to Derek Shell, who's our operator of record, about if there's anything we can do about the smell.
Because they've been dealing with it for many, many years and nothing's been done. And it's so, there's apartments, I mean, the retention pond's right there. And there's apartments right there and it smells so bad on there. They can't even sit on the front porch or open up the windows because it smells so bad. And I think it's something, I brought it up before, but they said there was nothing to be done, but I think that we see in other cities and other places that people lives by it and they're not smelling it, so something needs to be done. And another thing, seeing the equipment that's left at the park, I have a problem with that. And I would like to know, do we have an inventory of all the stuff that we own as a village and to be able to have it for accountable? And if not, can we get inventory of everything that we own and have some kind of tracking on it? Because that is totally wrong and somebody is reliable for that.
Yeah, we have an asset management system, I believe, so it's an asset tracking system, so I'll dive into that.
Okay,
Pretty sure
Okay.
we have track record.
okay, thank you.
Did you have it?
I have a couple things.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Nope, sorry.
On adding on to Melissa's with the smell. So when we walked it was on the west side where the farmer's field was, it was very strong, I would say, maybe Roundup, I could be wrong, but it was very strong. Very, very heavily smell. On the, issue of the wastewater treatment plant, I've actually went in there and talked with a lot of those people, a lot of them don't have time to come up because their work schedules. They've had people that visit them and say how bad it is. It's not all the time, but there's times that late at night you could go by sometimes and it's makes you gag. I mean, it's pretty bad. So I just wanted to add that on top of that. So, and then, on the salt barn, if you get an update on that, please let me know about the salt barn. And then the lighting, whenever we can get to it down there at the, by the juvenile center, cause I would really hate for them people to have to continue to drive up there where it's dark. If it's a matter of a simple, somewhat electrical thing that we can look into, just whenever you get time, I know you got a lot of, stuff on your plate, so I appreciate that. And that's all for me.
I just have a couple things. One, tomorrow is a holiday. Village offices will be closed for the Juneteenth holiday. Trash service will not be affected, so if anybody asks, trash service will go on as normal. So don't have to worry about that being disrupted. There's a couple things I want to highlight. A new small business that opened here in the village on Main Street. I believe it's the old Somerville Bank building. It's called Origin Coffee and Cream. And if you like coffee, or even if you don't, they have some really great coffee drinks. They have wonderful pastries. It is a young lady who is from New Lebanon that opened it. The building is beautiful inside, some great woodwork inside. I highly recommend you frequent that place. I've been there several times. Love their coffee. They're just getting started, but we have an entrepreneur that's trying to make it here in the village. I want to make sure we highlight her and make sure she's supported. And then the second thing is, Shannon mentioned it when she spoke earlier. She has been volunteering in our office, doing some cleanup and just organizing some files and things. And I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was when she came in here. And things happen. It's been a long time. I'm not trying to say that anything is done on purpose. It just files collect and things get accumulated. And she did a great job helping us get that figured out. So I really appreciate that, Shannon. I want to make sure you get recognized here at a meeting. That's all I have.
Council member comments. Start off with you.
All right, I would like to piggyback on that, the origin coffee and cream. I stopped by there today. I had the frappuccino and two of the smoothies. I have to say, it's absolutely awesome. If you guys get a chance, stop out there and you know, help with the small business. It's very hard owning and operating a small business, but I'm very, very happy with quality. It's awesome. I also want to congratulate part-time officer Josh on accepting his offer to be a full-time officer for the village. And the hometown hero banners being received and installed, and the families will have an additional 3 years, correct?
Correct.
So just so everybody's aware on that, and let's see. I think that might be it for me. So, and I just wanna thank everyone for coming up and coming out and being part of the community to help see things through and bring your issues up here and being able to speak out and have it heard and not fall on deaf ears. So I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day to come up here. It is appreciated from us, and we're going to continue moving forward. We are going to see where we go. It's going to take time. Rome wasn't built in a day, but we are going to get things on track and keep it moving that way. So thank you.
Yeah.
Vice Mayor Thomas.
I would like to actually thank Josh, for accepting that full-time position for the police department, and I also wanted to give Jeffrey Coney, best wishes, because we're gonna be losing him and he's going to People Heights. So I just want to put that on record, and, everybody just be safe. Thanks.
That's it. The only comment I had for this evening is we have a guest here tonight, State Representative Phil Plummer, sitting back there. We're always pleased to see him when he comes in and pays us a visit. Ron, have here, sir. Would you like to say anything, or you're just visiting? Or did I put you into a corner?
Thanks, Mayor, Council, thanks for serving. You know, it's tough serving nowadays because we don't have a lot of bosses, a lot of people have a lot of opinions. So it changes hard. Elections have consequences. And use me as a resource. You know, I know you have a couple issues with your police department. Feel free to call me if I can help you out there. I do know that. I kind of know government. So if you gotta leave me for anything, maybe help mediate a couple things, because you get into the court system, you get into investigations, things drag on for a long time. It can be costly. So I'm free. I don't know everything, but if I can help you guys out, we gotta take care of these citizens. You know what I mean? Can't let those police departments slide. You guys have issues. I mean, you don't want issues with your property room, and get into evidence issues. I mean, use me as much as you can. We'll be out here shortly. Another 2 weeks, we'll be out for some of the breaks off some free time. So feel free to call me. Some of you have my number. Feel free to share that. But you'll keep up the good fight. Keep up the work. You know, we got into this because we want to do the right job and we want to serve people. So keep it up. It's tough at times. I mean, you know, we all run for office with good intentions, then you got to govern when you get there. You know, it can get hairy. So, you know, you're filling the gas, serve the people properly. I have got a couple of calls from citizens that feel certain people are intimidating them out there in the community. So let's remain professional and treat people with dignity and respect. They'll put you back in office. So I'm not the guy that knows everything, but if you need any free counsel, feel free to call. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I just got one more comment. The Vice Mayor and I have been talking today. Rite Aid is closing. I don't know if anybody knew that or not. Walgreens bought out the Rite Aid franchise and our store is closing. So I'm going to make an attempt tomorrow. I'm going to contact Walgreens Corporation and see what we can do to keep Rite Aid in the. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. I've already got a phone number, got a contact, got a name, the whole bit. So I don't know if we'll be able to get very far with it, but I'm sure gonna try. Okay, and I'll keep you guys posted, okay? That's all I have. We don't have a agenda this evening. Nobody was added to the agenda. So our next regular council meeting will be held on Tuesday, July the 2nd, okay, July the 2nd at 7:30 PM. And with that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Councilmember Sexton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Atkins,
Yes.
Mayor Nicholson,
Yes,
Councilmember Beck.
Yes.
we are adjourned. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, everyone. Thank you.
Are you off?
Live stream.